So we left off in the last session talking about elicitation, how to get information out of people, and how getting that new information creates that unique sphere of experience that we create memories by, which is novelty. And there's two things that really manufacture memories: novelty and emotions. So if we have a chemical relationship to an event, we have dopamine or serotonin or even a high level of cortisol that's soaking through our body. Cortisol is the stress chemical. And if there's one thing that cortisol does, there's one description of what that chemical does, is that it ages our body. So cortisol ages us, but anything that's emotional or anything that's brand new tends to stick in our memories a lot more. So the conversations that you have will be more memorable and they'll be looked back on more favorably because they remember more details of the conversation. So now we're going to talk about something called the needs map. And the needs map is something that I developed over a long period of time. It's what you're learning here is different than the one in my book, if you've read the book. And I boiled it down to 6 human needs. And this is not an academic research. It won't stand up to academic scrutiny. And that's why I'm a big fan of teaching that there's a huge difference between science-based and results-based. So what these are is what people need in conversations. So what we're discussing with the human needs are social needs of other people. And the needs map basically illustrates a giant lever sticking out of that person that we weren't able to see before. So the lever becomes a way that we can persuade and influence that person because we know exactly what they need. But just like elicitation, there's a hidden thing with this as well. So human needs are based in sociology, not human life. And needs can be profiled either visually or audibly. So we can hear someone talking and hear just by the words that they're saying what their needs are. And I'm going to show you how easy that is to do. And I'm going to show you how you can do it in less than 2 minutes in any conversation you have. And most of the time, after you get a little bit of practice, you'll be able to do this in about 30 seconds. And I'm going to also include here in this training package a guide to visually profile the needs of a person. And needs can be spotted in typically under 2 minutes. So this training is called the 6-minute X-ray. And 6 minutes I put in the title because 6 minutes is the worst case scenario for when you're first starting out. A person who's trained for a few months on the 6MX and you've been doing this repetitively, this will be the 30-second X, 30-second X-ray. You'll be able to do this a whole lot faster. So when we're talking about human needs, this is social. This is what we need from other people. And each one of these has a question associated with them. But let's start with the primary needs. And everybody you meet will typically have one primary and one secondary need. Significance is the first. They're wondering, do I make an impact and do other people confirm it? And the reason that this is a social need is because we're getting confirmation from other people. If I am a significance needs person, I'm basing this off of the reactions of other people. I'm getting the reaction from other people, and that's how I'm getting fulfilled. So we know significance-driven people. I want to feel significant, not be significant. If you remember what we talked about in the last session, someone who wants to feel a certain way instead of who is a certain way. And the significance people will probably be in leadership roles. They'll discuss their accomplishments and achievements when they talk about who they are, what they do for a living, and how much of a difference they make, how much impact they have on the world. Their clothing, their t-shirts, the bumper stickers on their cars, the way they speak, the way they dress, all of it bleeds needs all the time. Do I make an impact and do other people confirm it? Is what we're looking at with significance. And we'll dive into these, and I'll show you in just a minute how easy it is to hear these in conversation. Next, we have approval. And this is reassurance. I want you to almost think of this need as being labeled reassurance. The approval needs typically take up less physical space. They will talk about some of their accomplishments only to be validated about it, but they will typically do something called self-effacement or self-deprecation just to get you to confirm the opposite. For instance, somebody might say, well, I'm really worried about this speech today. I'm not really a good speaker. Just so you'll respond with, oh no, man, you do a great job. You're always great. And everybody here loves you. Reassurance. So they will perform behaviors to get reassurance out of other people. So we're starting to see how these are social needs. This is what we get from other humans. And next we have acceptance. And this is belonging. This is the tribal behavior of humans, that they want to feel the sense of belonging and show other people that they do belong. These are the people that get Harley Davidson tattoos on the extreme end of the spectrum. And on the lower end of the spectrum, it is, I'm part of this basketball team. I'm a member of this fraternity. I'm a member of this sorority. I went to this college. I'm a member of this team inside of a group. I'm a member of lots of Facebook groups on Facebook. So we can profile this online, in person, visually, or audibly, when we're talking to somebody. So acceptance is all about groups and belonging. They'll talk more about their family. They'll use more we pronouns instead of I pronouns, which we'll also talk about in the future. Next, we have intelligence. Do others view me as intelligent? And that's what we need to know. In conversations, the people will talk about their academic achievements, the books that they've read, the new books that they're reading, where they went to college. I wrote my master's thesis on this, or X, Y, and Z. This will be somebody wearing a college graduation ring at the age of 25. We'll see alumni bumper stickers, not for the sports team of the college, but just that they graduated from X, Y, and Z school. Intelligence needs people will also typically use bigger words than necessary. We'll hear them talk about some kind of intellectual accomplishments that they've done, or they'll also talk about people that they don't like and describe them as unintelligent people. Next, we have pity. And these are pretty easy to spot, even visually, all the way down to the way the person stands and sits and how their posture looks in public. And the pity needs people need recognition from other people. The people realize how bad I've had it. And what's our first instinct? I mean, somebody starts complaining about, their drive to work. And our first instinct is typically to either A, tell them to shut up, or B, we want to say something like, well, it's not that bad. Get you an audiobook. There's trees everywhere. It's springtime. There's a great view to enjoy on your way to work. You can learn. There's so much that we can appreciate. But are we giving them what they need? Absolutely not. And we need to be. We should be. Next is strength and power. So these kind of have a high and a low. At the high end will be typically tied to significance. And in the high end, we'll see people in leadership positions that strive to be in leadership positions. They'll talk about how many people they have that work for them. They'll also talk about how they punked somebody, or how they talked someone over the phone into giving them something for free to show how strong they are, how powerful they are. And at the lower end, we have the scared little boy that we talked about when we were reviewing the 4 laws of behavior. And when we were going through the training about human beings being reasons. And we went through those 4 levels of seeing people, where they were facts, different, reasons. They're all different people. But that reasons standpoint is when we see that person, the person who's acting like a complete false alpha male. Their chest is out. They speak louder than other people in the room. They kind of force their power on other people to either A, make themselves feel big, or make other people feel small. And they want other people to feel small so that they're not attacked. They're fearful of being hurt by other people. So those are the 2 in that realm, and they want other people to confirm their strength or their power.